should you go south for the winter, especially if you live in a northern state, because it gets cold in winter. I know a friend of mine, let's call him Jeff Kiter, because I'm bad with last names, and so when I meet someone, I get their first name, but then their last name, like, I'll forget. So I'll say, oh, Susie 7-Eleven. That doesn't work. Well, I can do it now because, well, he is watching the video, so he'll know I forgot his name. Whoops. Jeff Kiter moved south for the winter to Florida, and it was the best thing that ever happened to him. He's there doing the boogie board every day. He's by the beach, golden tan, bushy, blonde hairdo, bleached from the sun. It's a fantastic life. And so I look at that and I think, well, that's a great idea. Now, of course, his wife and kids miss him, but you can't have everything. And he does come home, for the holidays, and I don't mean Christmas, no. I mean he comes home for July 4th because it's cold. But could I become a Florida man? Because there's expectations turning from a hard-headed Midwesterner and then becoming a Florida man. Because Florida men, well, you know how they're supposed to be. They're not quite right. And would I fit in? And also I'm thinking, what about all my winter equipment? Like, I've got a snowboard, I got hockey skates, I got all this winter equipment. I don't want to lose. I'll just take them to Florida, I guess. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll take my hockey skates out by the beach and skate around on the sand. I can be Florida man. I can do it. Now, the worst time in Michigan isn't when it turns to ice and snow. It gets crisp and you're in your long johns and all bundled up and cozy and everything is great. That part is okay. The worst part about it turning to winter is actually November and December, because it's cold enough for it to be damp all the time, and your shoes get so wet and your pants get wet and it feels cold and your jacket's wet, everything's wet, and that's a horrible time. So I was talking to my friend, you know about this, Ronald Potter. Yeah, he's a potter. So I say, Ronald, the wettest, the most moist day of the year, it's horrible, is November. And, I've looked that up before. It's like you just look at the charts. The most, rain, most snowfall. It is November. And he looks at me and goes, I know the poem. April showers bring May flowers, which means April is the wettest day. You, sir, you're wrong. And I go, no, I'm not wrong. Well, at the time I hadn't looked it up, but I knew November was always the wettest month. I just knew it. I said, you are wrong. How high do you have to be to think that because of a poem that creates the weather? And he goes, I don't care how high I am. I'm still smarter than you because you can't remember the poem. And I go, I know the poem. April showers bring May flowers. I know the poem. And they go, see, even you agree. April's the wettest. And of course, at that point, I do have to give up. He did win the argument because there's nothing that you can do against persistence in terms of arguing who wins the argument. So he beat me there. Now, of course, I'd have to take the cat, and she hates the cold weather. She'll go outside, she'll sniff the air and run right back inside. I don't mind it because as a human being I can dress any way I want, but as an animal with fur, she does not like having boots and vest put on her, though some dogs do, because dogs, let's face it, they like being ordered around. The cats don't want to put on any of that stuff. But she hates travel, so I know she would hate it. But she would love being in the warm weather all the time. One thing that I don't like about my cat is anytime I make a video with my cat, she'll pull 5,000-10,000 views. It's incredible. And I'll be spinning in the air, jumping upside down, throwing my board. I'm doing all these things, doing the spinny spins. That's a technical term for a Moog 360. It's a spinny spin, and I'll get 20, maybe 23 views. So I'm mad that she gets so many views, and I work my ass off, and people aren't that excited to watch me. But I'm proud of her because, you know, she is a cat and she's pretty smart, because in my personal opinion, I think your own cat is always the smartest cat that ever lived. That's how it works. Some of my friends do the van life. So, for instance, Fred, engineer, does the van life. And I think it's incredible that you can drive that much all the time. I don't think I could do that. All that driving, and then why don't you just fly to Florida and then rent a hotel or rent a house? But they love doing this. And one of the strangest things he does is he takes a guitar with him everywhere he goes, because he's going to learn how to play guitar someday, for sure. So he packs his whole van all the way to the top, and then makes a tiny bit of room near the window for his guitar, and then travels around to OBX, to Florida, everywhere. And then the guitar never leaves its stand near the window. Because I understand. You want to bring along things that make you feel like you're improving your life, but you don't actually want to do them. You know, it's like the treadmill in the closet, where you buy the treadmill to get in shape, well, then you put it in the closet because who wants to actually exercise? That's nonsense. So I do understand it. But that's the strangest thing that he does. Otherwise, if you could handle the driving, I guess it's a good life, traveling to Florida in a van for the winter. The truth is, it's getting cold now. Things getting icy.